Okay, Nikki, I had a harrowing experience last week.
Really?
Yeah, just listen. I drove through one of those automatic car washes, and when I got to the end where the dryer is blowing, my check engine light started flashing. Little panic attack there.
Let me see if I can tell you the rest of the story.
Well, I don't know how you can, but go ahead and try.
Okay, maybe within a block or two, the light stopped flashing but stayed on, and by the next day the light was off?
Yeah. How'd you know that?
I'll tell you, Dave. It's actually a good lesson in how the check engine light works. Your air intake system has a sensor that measures how much air is coming through it. When you went under the high-speed dryer, all that air was blasting past the sensor. Your engine computer was saying there shouldn't be that much air when the engine is just idling. Something's wrong. Now, whatever's wrong could cause some serious damage. Warning, warning, it flashes the check engine light to alert you to take immediate action.
So why did it stop flashing?
Well, once you were out from under the dryer, the airflow returned to normal. Now, the engine control computer says the danger is past, but I'm still concerned. I'll keep this light on for now.
Well, then it went off the next day.
Right. The condition never did recur, so the computer says whatever it was, it's gone now. The danger is past. I'll turn that light off.
So I really didn't need to panic.
Well, a flashing check engine light is serious. You need to get it into the shop as soon as possible. But it stopped flashing, so you have time to see if the problem will clear itself or if you need to get it checked.
Well, how does the computer know when to clear itself?
Okay, think of it this way. The engine control computer is the brain that can make adjustments to manage the engine. Things like alter the air-to-fuel mix, spark advance, and so on. The computer relies on a series of sensors to get the information it needs to make decisions on what to do.
So in my case, the sensor reading was way out of whack.
Nicely put, Dave. The computer knows what readings are in a normal range for various conditions. Now you get out of range and it logs a trouble code and lights up the check engine warning. The computer will then try to make adjustments if it can. If the computer can't compensate for the problem, the check engine light stays on.
So you say it logs a trouble code. Will the code tell the technician exactly what's wrong?
Well, the code will tell the technician what sensor reading is out of parameters, but it really can't tell you why because there could be any number of causes.
So how does that help?
Well, let's say you're feeling hot, so you get your heat sensor out, a thermometer, put it under your tongue, and in a minute or two, you learn that you have a fever of 104 degrees. Now, you know your symptom, a fever, but you don't know what's causing it. Is it the flu, a sinus infection, or appendicitis? Now, you need more information than just that one sensor reading, but it does give you a place to start and narrows down the possible problems.
Huh. Well, I was reading on the internet that you can just go down to an auto parts store and get them to read your trouble code or buy a cheap scan tool to do it yourself.
Well, there are two problems with that. First, the computer stores some trouble codes in short-term memory and some in permanent memory. Each manufacturer's computer stores generic trouble codes, but they also store codes that are specific to their brand. A cheap generic scan tool like you can buy or that the auto parts store uses doesn't have the ability to retrieve long-term storage or manufacturer-specific codes. Your service center has spent a lot of money on high-end tools and software to do a deep retrieval of information from your engine control computer.
Well, that makes sense. So what's the second problem?
Well, once you've got the information, do you know what to do with it? For example, a very common trouble code comes up when the reading on the oxygen sensor is, as you would say, out of whack. So the common solution is for the auto parts store to sell you a new oxygen sensor, which are not cheap, and send you off on your way. Now, your oxygen sensor may indeed have been bad and need replacing, but the error code could have come from any of a dozen other problems. So how do you know the right solution? Back to the fever analogy. Do you need surgery or an aspirin?
Yeah, so no more do-it-yourself appendectomies for me.
Leave it to the pros, Dave.
All right, thanks, Nikki. We'll be right back. And be sure to watch more videos on the check engine light and other topics at AutoNetTV.com.